Okay, fine. Okay, so I'll start my lecture by clarifying few doubts which I could not clear yesterday. So yesterday Sonone sir asked one thing, that can we invoke
Sorry, sir. Not coming. Sorry, sir.
There is
Sage.
some noise
That's
disturbance.
what he
Yes,
asked.
yes.
Yes,
Connectivity
you can
issue.
do that, but to some extent I have got the positive answer.
Vikas sir, hello. There is some connectivity issue, it seems, at your end. We are not able to hear you.
Is the noise from my side?
It's not a noise. It's breaking. Your voice is breaking up a lot.
I think a connectivity issue.
There is some
Yes,
connectivity issue.
Am I audible
Please.
now?
Yeah, but it break.
Yeah, voice is breaking up actually.
Possible, please refresh
am I-
our modem, sir.
Vikas sir,
Yeah, Ganesh sir,
Huh.
my
you
voice
can
is
skip
breaking.
your video off. You can skip your video off and then go for the presentation. That will save bandwidth.
Bandwidth, yeah. You put your video off. Huh.
Okay, so I kept my video off. Okay. So is it now properly audible?
It's better now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, fine. So yesterday Sonone sir asked regarding can we import the data from Excel sheet to Sage, right? So I tried few things, but not satisfactory answer we got. But we can do something regarding that. So what we can do is, so suppose we have a Excel sheet. That Excel sheet we need to save as a CSV file. So yesterday I have one Excel sheet which I saved as a CSV file. That file named as sage2.csv. Can you see the screen? On the screen I'm highlighting, say one small
Yes, sir.
program is there.
We can
Which
see.
I'm highlighting, which you can see. So yeah, there it is written that import CSV first of all. So you have to first of all save your Excel file as CSV file. So that is available, that you can do from the Excel sheet. You can save as an CSV file. That option is available. So once you save as a CSV file, then wherever it is saved, you have to give the path of that. So I've given the path, that C drive user Dell desktop. So I've saved on my desktop. So I've given the path of that. And after giving the path, then you have to write this command reader. So it will read the file. And then you have to construct a list such that in that list you have to append the rows of that Excel. So whatever the rows there in your Excel sheet, those rows will be appended in the list L. Okay, so this list L is there, and in that list the rows will be added. So the output of this turns out to be this file which you can see below. You can see this. This is what I get from the Excel sheet file. I'll also open the Excel sheet file, and you can see that Excel sheet file is there. So Sage2 file is there. I will open it. So you can see these entries 0, 1, 0, 1. But the little not integers. They are like they are in the form of, I cannot access 0 here directly. 0 is given in quotes. Okay. So that is little thing. So L00 is the entry corresponding to 0 row 0 column. That is 0. Okay. So the point is that we can try to get the data from Excel sheet to Sage file. Okay. So we can do some more things we can do here, and we can get the data to Sage file. Okay. Sonone sir, is that clear to you? Sonone sir around?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, so I tried many other things, but that didn't work at in my laptop. So maybe there may be a problem. I tried various things. but it depends sometimes upon your laptop also, what kind of configuration you have or something is missing. Okay, that was one thing.
Okay.
And another thing also, I tried that someone asked that can we label the edges? So the
Label
labels,
the-
can we put it outside the edge?
Above the edge.
Or
Yes,
below
sir.
edge? So that also above the edge. Yeah, that also I tried, but I couldn't get it because I didn't see any example where we can do such thing. Okay, maybe that's possible, but maybe you have to do some graphic. You have to see the graph plot features. I'm unable to find the features. Maybe due to short of time, I could not find it. But I tried that.
One
Yeah.
more question from me.
Yeah.
Is it all the edges are here straight lines? Can we draw it as arc or free curve?
Yeah, you can draw it as arc. Surely you can draw it
Oh,
arc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Possible.
There is a feature.
So
there
that-
is a feature which is called arc, plot arc. Okay. Yeah, I will try to show it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's today start with let us continue with that. So is there anything else I want to tell you? Yeah, no, I think, yeah, someone said that someone also asked that can we get all graphs up to some order? So for a higher order, it's a problematic thing, but for a smaller order, we can list graphs. Say graphs of order, say size 6, I have given a list of, we can list graphs of order 5, say, and then we can get some data about that. But if I list
What's the data, browser?
graphs of order 14, is difficult.
Is the number of non-isomorphic graphs, browser?
Yeah, non-isomorphic. So
For given number, that we have to get numbers of non-isomorphic.
yeah, for suppose you have list L, graphs
Yeah.
of order 6, and if you try to see all the graphs of size less equal 4, then there are 14. So there are the graphs of number of vertices, 6 vertices, and then you, out of that, if you try to take all the graphs with size less equal 4, then you can get the answer is 14. But if you give a very big figures like 14, so it is taking time. So for higher order graphs, giving number of non-isomorphic graphs is a difficult task. But
yes, browser.
As you mentioned that if you use a particular software, software, for example,
here Sage also using that package browser for your information.
I think Nautigen you're talking.
May I?
Yeah,
browser?
you can involve. Yeah, that is possible. In Sage, I think Nautigen package we can import that package, and using that package, I think we can speed up some. We can.
Yeah, there is for
That was
generating hypergraphs. It is using for generating hypergraphs. And now only saw the in manual. Thank you for.
Okay. So another thing I was trying to see was what was other thing I was trying to see? Okay, so yeah, someone said that lambda is used to. Lambda is actually a function. So someone yesterday we were discussing on lambda. Yesterday what I said was correct. Lambda is a function actually. It is used to. So suppose you want to define a function which we are not going to use many times or only once we are using it. So in certain situation we use lambda as a function. Okay, so that is one thing I want to clarify. Okay, so with this I would like to start with the today's session. So let me start with the today's session. So just to save time, so there is already one. So I will create one new file, and I will also today possible for me to quickly paste also. I will also paste this codes in the chat box. Okay, so today let me start with the topic graph visualization, or we can say modification of graph structures. So that is what I am planning today. So this I will discuss about. Along with that, I will also discuss what we can do with graphs, what properties of graphs, we can test what properties of graphs. Then we can also discuss product, and we'll also try to discuss automorphism. We'll also try to discuss distances kind of concept. So various things we will try to discuss today. So let us start with this code. I will try to paste in the new file.
Excuse
So
me,
you
sir.
can see this code. Now what I have done is I have taken yes.
Sir, actually, I have downloaded this Sage 9.1 in my PC. But today, when I am going to open this, notebook, it's not opening basically. I am getting a message and
that message is because of maybe some server error, because this I also faced 2-3 days ago.
It is showing like server is down. So that kind
server
of
down
problems
error
are there.
So it may open after some, you try out after some time. Same thing happened 2 days back for me also. So it sometimes error related to your PC and connection with the server there. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That kind of thing. Don't worry, it will open if you try next time, or maybe sometimes later. Okay, so you take a graph on 5 vertices and you allow multi-edges. So you say multi-edges equal to true, and then you add edges with labels. So I'm adding the edge and the edge 2, 3 with the label E4, E3. Then you add these label edges to the graph. Okay, then you plot them. So what you're saying, what are the arguments you're passing to this plot function? Edge labels equal to true, color by labels equal to true, and edge style equal to dashed. So your edges you are giving in the form of dash. Okay, so this sometimes you may require our edges to look nice. So in that thing, in that case, you can give such command, and you can make it nice. So let us see what's the output of this. Yeah, so this is how the output of the graph look like. So some people may be interested in modifying their graphs or giving the graph in a nice way. Now next thing is, now many times, so whenever you run, if you create a graph, okay, so now I'm talking about now layout thing. Okay, what is layout? Okay, so I'm going to right now explain you about layout. So let me first of all paste this. So what about layout is, see, when suppose if you construct a graph using a dictionary, then every time you you run the program, run the input cell, then it will different shape will be there. Different shapes of the graph will be there. Sometimes it is displayed vertically, sometimes it is displayed horizontally. Okay, but then if you want that all my vertices to be in a certain form, then you have to give this command, layout command. So here, if you'll see that if I try to run this command layout, my all vertices will be in a circular form. All of you can see that all vertices are in a circular form. Okay, so sometimes this is very helpful to draw the graph in a nice form and to understand the graph, because every time your vertices will be on a circle, and that will be helpful for you. So there are different kinds of layouts. There is a tree layout, there is a spring layout. So you can use different layouts. And then yesterday, one more question that Sonone sir asked was like, can we display the graph vertically if it is given horizontally? What answer I gave yesterday was, every time you can you run the program, run this cell, it will give different output. But suppose if you want to put a fixed output, suppose I want that this is how the graph should be displayed, then what best thing you can do is, and that is very helpful in certain context, that what you do, you fix the position of the vertices. Okay, to fix the position of the vertices, what you do is you give the vertices a specific position. So let me show you the code for that also. That also I tried yesterday, but yeah, let me just see where is that code. I will show you the code there for that also, that you fix the vertices and give them a appropriate Let me see whether that this is there in this graph. So you give the vertices a certain position. Yeah, I think this is- so let me just see where is that command. You have to give a certain position to. So for example, your vertex 0 is there. So you can assign 0 the position 0, 0. Means it is placed on the two-dimensional axis at the position 0, 0. Similarly, another vertex 1 you can place at the position 1, 1. So that way you can do it. Let me just see where I have done that. So that is what you can do. So None sir, you can draw a graph as per your need by giving specific position to your vertices.
Okay.
By giving, I am unable to find it right now. Yeah, I think that is there. So this is the code I have. I'll just try to plot this code. So what you do is, you define the position of the vertices. Example 0 is there. Minus 0.8 specific position in 2 dimension, then accordingly the graph will be plotted. Okay. So let us see the output of this. You can see that the vertices are placed at that position. Is this fine? So Ronan sir, did you get
Yes, sir.
this?
Yes, sir. I got it. Yes, sir.
Excuse me,
I
sir.
think this is a much better way. Rather rotating a graph, this is always a better way to position the vertices at a specific point. So that
But
way,
sometimes it will be difficult if you have more number of vertices.
yeah,
So-
if it is more number of vertices, then you can for that also, then again, see, when there are more things involved now, then you have to think of certain pattern or a loop. So you
So-
think of certain pattern of giving position to vertices, and then according to that pattern, then once you have pattern in your mind, you can write a for loop. That is what always you should think. Whenever there is more thing to work, you have to think of doing that work in a nice pattern, and then that pattern you have to put in a form of a loop. That's what generally I do. So if there are more vertices, then you can do this. But other than this, if at all any other feature is there in the graph plot, then you need to see
But,
it. Okay. Right now, I don't know.
I think that there should be some function which rotates and shows finally.
Yeah, that function is
Rot-
there. So you have to multiply by a rotation matrix that you can do. So that is possible, because if you can store the vertices and their position, what you can do is, rotation is allowed. Rotation can be done. It's a to certain place. That is possible. So that kind of thing we can use, and we can rotate the graph by certain angle or certain thing. That is possible. That is surely possible. Okay. So let me continue now.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Jadhav, sir.
Yes.
Can you please you can put code in the cell 2 in chat box, please?
Yeah. I'll just put it. Okay. So next thing I want to discuss is the, yeah. So where were we? Yeah. So you can put your vertices in a circular form, giving the layout. Okay. Now another thing is that next thing is specific vertices and specific edges. That is also possible here.
Also, your voice is breaking.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now okay.
Yeah. I think in my office there is some problem. I'll try to settle out.
Yes, still continuing the voice breaking.
Okay, just wait. I'll try to figure it out.
Now you're audible, of course, but there was some interruption in between.
Now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you can see that you have this graph, icosahedral graph. Then I want to color the edges by, say, for example, the edge between 0 and 1, and the vertices say 7 and 11. The vertices with label 7 and 11. I want to color with green color. Then I will use this code. So I'm just illustrating one small example here. I'm just illustrating a small example here. You can color as many vertices as you want and edges. This is a small example. So let me run this, see, we can get this graph. So this is the code we can use for coloring specific vertices and edges. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah. Okay, fine. See, there is no hurry. There are small things you may require in future. So if you have anything to ask, you can ask me. There is no point that just hurrying or going ahead with not understanding anything. If you understand, we can go fast, but if not, then we can stop and discuss it, okay? So the next thing is, so this was about coloring vertices and edges. So that we can do here. Next, you can also use this edge style as dotted. You can give dotted. Sometimes you require border to the graph. So to display it well, it should look good. You can use these things. So you can give border to the graph. You can have edges as dotted type, and the edges and vertex labels equal to 0 and vertex to be 0, and vertex labels are also I'm not displaying, and I'm putting graph border also. Okay, so
Also,
I can do such things. Yes.
Professor, instead of talking about border, can we give any ellipse format for the bipartite graph? You know, while visualizing the bipartite graph, we can give it to one part is as ellipse, another part is ellipse. Shall we draw it as?
I didn't get your question exactly.
Actually, when you visualizing the bipartite graph, you have two bipartite set, no?
Yeah.
For
Yes.
that, for the sake of convenience, we have to draw the one parted set as the ellipse shape.
Mhm. Okay.
So another part is it for? Is it possible to draw the ellipse shape in the bipartite graph. Here we are using the border.
Right, but-
Border with another shape instead of square or rectangle.
Here we are using the border shape, the square.
Okay.
We have to draw the partially 3 vertices by any shapes.
Okay. So border we
possible?
can border shape we can change. That I think is possible, but I have not tried it. I have not tried it. I have just illustrated one simple example to
Okay.
just get a border. But you can, these things are related to little graphics. So you can try it out, but I have not tried it. Okay. That you
Yep.
can do. That you can
Yep.
do. Okay.
Yep.
See, there are many things, n number of things you can always try, but you need to just sit and try out all these things. You can put any kind of figure if you want. That is possible. So there is a graph plot package is also there that you can import, and you can see the utilities. I have not really gone into details of that. I'm just illustrating few examples here. So certain small things which may be useful for you. So vertex size I can reduce. Sometimes I'm not interested in looking the vertex labels. I'm just interested in looking the edges and their labelings. So, and generally when we draw the graph on a piece of paper, this is how we draw. We don't draw vertex with the circle and the label inside it. Okay. So that we can do. Okay. But whatever you are saying, that I can try it today and get back to you tomorrow. Now, one thing I
thank
would
you.
like to tell
Thank
all of you that, I want to tell you one thing, whatever your difficulties you have, if I am unable to answer your difficulties, you can write, you can send me an email. So by the end of this refresher course, or whenever it is possible for me, I will try to reply back with a positive answer to you. Okay. So at the end of the day, whatever your doubts you have, or you expect, or you from us, that I think you should clear it. Okay. So that I will try to clear it. Okay. So this was one thing. Next thing what we can do is visualization graph is, yeah. So sometimes we can give a partition to the vertex set, and according to that partition, we can color the vertices. So for example, you can see that I have taken a dodecahedral graph, and then in dodecahedral graph, and I have given the partition of vertices. So I have given the partition of vertices. Okay. So you can see the partition. You can see the partition of vertices. And using this partition, I will say partition equal to pi. Pi is one partition I have given. You can give another partition, and for the different blocks in the partition, you will have different colors. Okay. So if you try to run this, we'll get color for different partitions. For example, see 6, the vertex 6, 5, 15, 14, 7. Where is that? 6, 5, 14, 15, 7. They are being given the color red. Okay. So you can use a certain partition, and you can get the visualization. Accordingly, you can color the vertices as per the partition. That is one thing you can do. Yeah, next thing, you can also use partitions, say, for independent sets. So for example, if you're interested in labeling those vertices which is a part of an independent set, then you can color those vertices also. So for example, in this example, if I take this group, what is that good Chevital group? In that group, I am taking the partition equal to C dot independent set. So there are, I think, so C equal to independent set. I can also display what is independent set here. Let us try to see that. And then we can see how do we get the colors to that. Okay. So what I will do, I will try.
Browser here, partition equal to pi means what it means,
partition equal to pi means pi I have given as a partition.
Yeah, okay.
Partition of the vertex set.
Yep.
I have given the partition of the vertex set.
Oh.
And as for that partition, I will color the vertices.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yes, fine. I think the pi is the variable pi, that constant pi.
Yeah.
That's why.
So let me now take this command. So we can take the partition as per independent set also. And let us see what are the independent sets here. So independent set is 1469, and that set is it is being colored with red. Okay. So various things you can try as per your need, whatever you require. According to that, you can do certain visualization. So these are now for colors. Sometimes you can also use hexadecimal code also for colors. So you can see this next code here, where I'm coloring the vertices using the hexadecimal code of the color. For example, #00FFF stands for the color which corresponds to 385. So where is 385? So it is a turquoise color, I think. Okay. So whatever this color is, 385. So you can see that red color corresponds to 0 to 10, 7. And for red color, the hexadecimal code is 0FF0000. So for coloring, you can also use hexadecimal code. So the point here is that if you want to specifically, that is one thing, that is one way of coloring. You can use hexadecimal code also. So you can use hexadecimal code to color the vertices. So we can see that output is there. So you should know what are the hexadecimal codes for the color. And then only you can do this. And that is always available. If you search Google, you can always get the hexadecimal code for a certain specific color. There are many kind of colors. Sometimes what happens, there are n number, we know only basic colors. Okay. But if you are interested, if you require many colors, then you can use hexadecimal color there. Okay. Next thing is, okay. Now there is another thing, is that sometimes you do different kind of labeling to the graph. And sometimes you associate a set to a set is used to label a vertex. So that kind of also things we can do here. You can see in the next this command. Here you can use this, you can put in curly brackets. So vertices should not be only integers or alphabets. Those vertices could be any set, or yesterday I mentioned that those vertices could be any graph also, any group also. So with the vertex, you can associate any graph, you can associate, but you can label them with any alphabet or any set kind of notation. So various things you can do here. So this is one another thing. So you can draw a graph with whose vertex labels are these sets of 2 elements. Okay. So this way you can, this is also required sometimes labeling when you do labeling of graphs, vertex labeling, then you need to give labels are sometimes sets. So you can do that. Okay. So in order to display, for display purpose, you can do this. Next thing, okay, so this was all about visualizing graph. So there are many more things. It will, I think this much is enough for all of you to understand that we can do these things. So basic things which we need to do in this is coloring vertices and edges. That is, or you can reduce the size of edges. You can increase the size of edges. That also is possible. So you can, according to your need, you can increase a size of a specific edge, and you also can increase or decrease a size of a specific vertex. All that is possible. So that keep in mind, you try it out, you will understand those things. So regarding graph visualization, anything else you want to ask, or shall we proceed with the test of properties? Next topic. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we will now see, we can see the commands which are used to test the properties. So suppose let us take a Peterson graph, and then this Peterson, I'll try to run here itself. Okay, so if we have a Peterson graph, then we can check whether it is planar or not. So if we run it, it will give it is planar. I can try to check whether it is Eulerian or not. So I will put the command is Eulerian. Okay. Then I can also check whether it is connected or not. So we know that from very well, we know this that Peterson graph is a connected graph. Whether it is bi-connected or not. So it is bi-connected. I'm running, okay. So I'm using these commands, and actually I'm running these commands, okay. So I can have in different also, and then I can use all these commands, whether it is Eulerian, whether it is connected, all these things are possible. So for Eulerian, it is giving false. So there are various features, like you can check whether it is bi-connected, it will give it true. If it is k regular, whether it is k regular graph or not. So it is 6 regular, it is not 6 regular, but it is 3 regular graph, and it is also vertex transitive graph. So you can check is vertex transitive. Okay, is it a line graph? Or you know, all of you know what is a line graph of a graph. Okay, so you consider G dot line graph, whether that line graph is vertex transitive or not. So G is vertex transitive, it is giving true, but its line graph is also vertex transitive. For that also it is giving true. So you can check whether the graph is vertex transitive or not using the command is underscore vertex underscore transitive. Okay, now someone asked me about whether we can check Hamiltonian or not. So whether it is Hamiltonian. So if you just type is, and then you will see there are various functions. Things you can see here. So let me just is dot. If I just type is and I put a tab here, you can see that there are various commands is antival, is arc transitive, is bi-connected, is bipartite, is block graph. So there are various commands you can try. And suppose even if you don't know what are those concepts are, then you can, sometimes the information is given in that, if you just put a question mark, then the information is given in that, okay. So is bi-connected or not. So if you put a question mark here, then the information is given regarding that. So I think this thing has been discussed with you many times. So here, what is bi-connected graph is also given. A bi-connected graph is a connected graph on 2 or more vertices that is not broken into disconnected pieces by deleting any single vertex. Okay, so if you delete any single vertex, it will not become disconnected. Such a graph is called as bi-connected graph. Then whether this graph is bi-connected or not, that you can decide. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, Zada. Excuse me.
Yes.
Am I audible? Zada sir, myself Pradeep.
Yes.
Yes. I tried to plot line graph of this graph D we used earlier.
Line graph of?
Graph D we used earlier.
Okay, I'll just try to see it.
And when I plotted it, it is showing in the graph none. What that none means? N-O-N-E, none.
None means label. There is no label for that. That is stand means whatever the argument you are passing, that argument is you should not consider it. That is what none means. So okay, we'll try it out immediately.
Okay.
We'll try it out immediately. So line graph. So let us try to see the line graph. Yeah. Yeah. So 0, 1, none. None means between these two vertices, there is no label. there is no label for that edge. Okay, so no labeling. So here, whenever an edge is there, suppose. There is no, none stands for no labeling. Actually, that's what I know. So whenever an edge is given, suppose you have edge 2, 3. So edge is given, generally edges are given like this. 2, 3, none. Whenever you display edges, it means that none means there is no labeling between those two edges. Okay, that's what it means.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's what I can see right now. So none generally stands for that whenever it is displayed in this form. But in this case, I think it is it has some different meaning. What it mean actually? 0, 4, none. Yeah, so let us try to, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so what is line graph? So let me explain you what is line graph. What do we do when we draw a line graph? We take edges as the vertices, right? Yes or no? When we draw a line graph, what we do exactly? We take edges as vertices. Yes or no? And we connect two vertices if there is a vertex common between them. That is the meaning of line graph, right? So let me show you what is the meaning of line graph. Mark here. So a line graph is a directed graph G such that the vertices of H are the edges of G and two vertices E and F of H are adjacent if and only if E and F share a common vertex in G. So what happens is the edges
already we have the edge label
becomes
graph.
vertices.
Already we have edge label graph. For
No,
that we
Peterson
can draw.
graph.
No. I have for the sake of clarity, already we have a edge labeled graph so that we can see instead of none what is happening.
Yes, we can. Yes, if we take an edge label graph, then we can see it. What? So you want to see?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let us take one edge label graph.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us take one edge label graph, and for that we will try to see.
There.
Let me take one edge label graph.
Yeah, there, down. There it is.
No, that's not edge label.
Oh, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, this is edge label. Yeah, this is edge label graph. So let me take edge label graph and let me draw its line graph. So this is edge label graph. Okay, and we will try to see what is the line graph of it.
Also line underscore. Command is
sorry, line underscore, yeah. So we can see the label. Okay.
Yeah, now good.
Because the edges are being converted into vertices. So the edges become vertices. So whatever the label we have for edges, those becomes the label for vertices. And we can see that 2, 6F. So none was there when there is no labeling for the, in the original graph, there is no labeling for the graph. Then you will get none. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's clear.
So regarding is, there are many other things you can check. I just want to list it for all of you to just know that there is, we can check whether the graph is Hamiltonian or not, whether the graph is chordal or not, whether the graph is weakly chordal or not, whether the graph is bipartite or not. And as Kadur sir yesterday asked me that whether we can check whether a graph is Cayley graph or not. Okay. So, and also can we construct Cayley graph? Okay. So that also we will see today, how to construct, if possible today, not possible today, then we can discuss tomorrow. But surely I will discuss about Cayley graph. So G dot is Cayley or not? So it's saying false. Okay. Whether the graph is strongly regular or not, whether the graph is perfect or not. I'm assuming that all of you are aware of this concept. What is a perfect graph? What is strongly regular? What is k-regular? With that assumption, I'm just going ahead because we cannot discuss all these concepts here due to short of time. Okay. Then again, there is graph is self-complementary or not. So it will give either true or false. So whenever is command is there is generally the two options, two outputs, whether it is true or false. Okay, whether the graph is a path or not. Okay, so these things are there. Whether you have given a graph, whether it is a path or not, whether it is self-complementary or not, whether it is isomorphic to some other graph. So suppose if I take H is equal to complete graph on 10 vertices, and I'll ask you whether my graph G is isomorphic to H, it will give the answer either true or false. It will give the answer either true or false. Whether my graph is a path or not, whether my graph is a cycle or not, whether my graph is directed or undirected, that kind of things you can always check. Okay. And also you can check one more thing here. You take a graph. So you can see this command graphs dot cycle 4 means I have taken a cycle graph with 4 vertices. And then I'm giving a pair of vertices here, means 1, 3 is a vertex. I'm checking whether that vertex set is an independent set or not. So it will give me the answer true or false. So for a given graph, if you want to check whether a particular subset of a graph of a vertex set, whether it is an independent set or not. So the option is either true or false. Yeah.
In that you use a cycle graph, that is cycle graph on 4 vertices, that is subgraph.
No, that is a graph. That graph you are talking about. In that graph, we are taking a subgraph, means I'm taking the vertex set as 1, 3. Whether that vertex set 1, 3 is independent set or not.
Yeah, okay. I think that given a graph, we have to check given a subgraph. In that subgraph, we have to check the independent.
No, I thought that. In which graph you are talking about? Inside which graph you are talking about?
That graph start cycle graph means
you're inside a cycle graph, means your main universal graph is cycle graph.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Inside that you have to give the list of vertices, and that list of vertices, whether it forms an independent set or not, that is what we will discuss.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are some properties, test of properties. I have given the title as test of properties. So these are some properties of graphs which you can check in Sage. Okay. So anything else you want, any other property you want to check, or I have not listed, or you are some interested in some property, you can ask me.
Can we check graph has a cycle of particular length?
Yes, yeah, that we can check whether it has cycle or not, that we can check. Okay. So let us take this whether G dot. That you can take. Okay.
If so, it gives an induced subgraph for any subgraph. We have graph. If we have graph means we are going to check a subgraph of structure like cycle of length. Okay. It gives induced or any subgraph.
Say for example. I think it is showing, but it has cycle or not. First of all, we'll check. G dot has cycle. Okay, let me just check the has command. Has edge, has loop, has vertex, has cycle. I don't know why. So I think there is no command related to has cycle. I think. But you can. But there is a command related to cycle, so you can find all cycles.
There is a command the homomorphism too. G dot. First, G dot. We have to define the cycle graph first. Then we have to take a cycle graph as a edge. Then we have to G dot isomorph or homomorphism. There is a command.
Okay, but I think there is a command which can display all the cycles. So let me see.
No.
whether I can see groups or multiple edges, or you can say particular length, then I think you have to give a cycle from cycle. I think I have discussed it yesterday also.
There is G dot homomorphism, has homomorphism, or there is a
Use
command. Please.
homomorphism command. Sir
Has-
says that
has
use
homomorphism.
homomorphism command
Has
Using that
home.
we can find
Has
homomorphism to my
homomorphism
graph
too.
or CN.
or CN. Or define a graph H as a CN.
Okay.
Then we have to check whether H is a homomorphism to how many H's are there, or is there any H in G? H equal to cycle of length of 4, cycle of one width is 4. Now G dot has homomorphism to H.
I think cycle is standard, no? So no need to define.
Cycle graphs are supposed to 5 or that.
Yeah, first.
Yeah.
Now put G has isomorphic to H. Homomorphism.
No. No, that is not the case. So
what is the home?
The doubt is that given a graph, in
Yeah.
that graph, whether there is a particular graph, or whether there is a graph, or
That
whether
is-
there is a cycle of certain length.
Yeah.
Whether inside the graph, whether there is a cycle of certain length. Okay, that graph is a cycle or not, that we can check is cycle or not. That is simple.
No. So
But
basically, if there is a homomorphism from cycle to the graph, then there will be a cycle. So maybe, so a suggestion is that if we can use this command to check that G has a cycle, to use homomorphism command.
yes, I think then that I think it's work.
Then
Okay.
probably it can be done.
Yeah, it work. So what we have is
Not only cycle, for any structure of graph, vertex set of H is strictly less than vertex set of G.
Okay, so-
H is
We should ask state all cycles. If it gives
whether G has that structure of subgraph or not.
yeah, so G has homomorphism to H.
H,
So it is
this
showing-
is what? What is my
it has-
G? What is
my
our G?
G is I think my Peterson graph. G I have-
No,
Peterson
Peterson
graph.
has a 6. The girth is
It
6.
has cycle.
Yeah, no. Half length 5, no, false.
Of length 5, it has no cycle.
The girth is 6 for Peterson graph.
Yeah,
Now
okay,
it's
okay.
true.
Okay,
Instead
okay.
of considering cycle,
is
we
six,
can define
Sir,
H as any
please,
subgraph.
please verify it by making 5 to 6, then it will get clear.
Six, it is showing false.
Then our assumption of the homomorphism definition is wrong. What's the
But the graph has cycles that we can see. All cycles. Actually, I was.
Actually, he is checking whether there is a map from G to H
I
and
tried
we
yesterday, I
need
think. One.
H to G, I think. Cycle to G.
Okay. Okay, so shall we try H to G? H to G. Yeah. So I think it is giving. 0,
Yes.
1, 1,
Yes.
0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 4, 0. Okay, fine. Okay, so it is giving. I think this
You may
command
ask to
can
draw
have-
it. You may ask to draw it.
Okay, so this was one thing. So this is possible, cycle of particular length. But I think instead of this also, I personally feel that there is another command which I think I'm missing. but maybe this works, then it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really useful because we can take H as per our requirement and we can check for the homomorphism.
Yes.
So it is very
Is there a
applicable.
command which shows all cycles? Is there a command which shows all cycles?
Yeah, that's what I was telling, that what about all cycles? All
Cycle
cycles
underscore
command is
basis. Command may be cycle underscore basis.
maybe all paths are there, all clicks are there, loops, multiple edges, all command, or maybe underscore, shall I try? All paths is there. All cycles, I think there should be one command from cycles. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Dado, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
If we type a cycle underscore basis,
Yeah, cycle
then
basis. Yes, yes,
cycle
yes.
basis, then it lists all the cycles, but it,
No, it will not
does
give,
not
no,
plot
it
it.
will not list all the cycles. It will give the, I think, basis for the cycle space.
It lists all the
Cycle space.
possible cycles.
But how to plot this basis?
Yeah, please.
Or shall I just assign a label to it and then show, use show command?
Cycle basis. This is the cycle basis for G.
Okay. And if you want, okay, so basically we don't need it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. But all cycle, I think yesterday somewhere down the line I have discussed about all cycles. I don't know. I'll try to find it out again. Okay.
Other disjoint
Yes, sir.
disjoint cycles are expected.
What?
Disjoint cycles.
Disjoint cycles.
Yes.
Means, could you repeat your question, please?
For given a graph, is
Mhm.
it possible disjoint cycles?
Is it
They are not
possible to-
means age is not common.
Age is not common. That also I think we can do. If you can find cycles, then we can also find disjoint cycles. Okay, that I need to check it. I have not really it right now. So I'll try to check it out. Okay, I'll list this question in my mind. So I'll try to answer it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because these are few things. Actually, there are few things. I'm not into graph theory. So what things actually is required in graph theory, what kind of things. So slowly I'll figure it out and I'll try to tell you. Okay. So as per your need, you need that, yeah, I want disjoint cycles in a graph, how to find disjoint cycles in a graph for certain reason. Then you can find it. Okay. So, but that's possible. It's not that it's not possible. Okay. By certain way, it is possible. There may not be a direct command to find all cycles, but there may be some other ways. Okay. Because the concept of cycle is involved in this. So in Sage understand what is cycle.
Sir, one more doubt is
So
not
once Sage
regarding this.
understand, yes.
I already have a figure in a LaTeX format, and I want to check these properties for that graph. So should I need to write again another code in Sage, or I can use the ready-made code from the LaTeX?
No, LaTeX is a different software. Now, if you have a code in LaTeX and you want to check the properties, where in LaTeX or in
Sage.
In Sage, once that LaTeX code is an output of the cell, that code you can copy.
No, we can convert Sage diagram to LaTeX code. So
Yes,
my question is, can we do reverse other way?
LaTeX code to Sage.
Sage diagram.
Yeah, that is also that I have not checked actually.
Okay.
That I need to see. Yeah, but that is a good question. Whether
Because I have few graphs and
the
I
LaTeX
think
code you have.
Yeah.
And you want to put them in a, but
because in LaTeX we cannot check anything regarding that graph. We can just write a code to draw the diagram in a
but in the
TXT.
LaTeX code, but in the LaTeX code you must have drawn the you must have drawn the graph knowing the vertices and edges,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if you know the vertices and edges, you can directly draw the graph here also in Sage using the vertices and edges.
But it has too many vertices and edges. So my question is, can I use that code
Okay.
as it is in a
Okay.
Sage?
Okay.
Or
Okay.
I need to modify it like the code you taught us?
Okay. Okay.
Or
I'll
is
try
there
to
any input command for using the images so that we can convert it as a code?
But I think I have a feeling that converting LaTeX back to Sage is little difficult. I think I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I have not seen anywhere. I have
Okay.
not seen anywhere. I don't. But let's see whether I'll try it out. If it's possible, I'll try to get back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now next thing is we can now some computations regarding graphs we can do that are useful in many times we do these computations at the basic level. So we can compute the adjacency matrix of a graph. So for that you have to just write d dot. So if you just take a graph, first of all, you take a digraph, say for example, and then for that you have to give adjacency matrix. So d dot adjacency underscore matrix. So you'll get a matrix for that. Okay. You can also get incidence matrix. Okay. So if I put here, so if I run this run this cell, I'll get this matrix. Then I can see what is d dot. So what else I can do? So if I put I in, I can put tab. So there are many things you can calculate: incidence matrix, incoming edge tracer, incoming edges, in degree, out degree. So here you can also calculate incidence matrix. So this is the incidence matrix. Then you can calculate the order of D, and you can also calculate the size of D. Order stands for the number of edges and the size stands for number of vertices. Okay. Then you can have incidence matrix also. Then you can calculate the degrees of certain vertices. Suppose I want to calculate the degree of vertex 0, 1, 2. Then you just have to put the command d dot. D is our graph. Okay, that is graph. Okay. And then we are just writing degree and we are passing the arguments as vertices, list of vertices. Vertices equal to the list 0, 1, 2. And labels equal to 2. So I'll get the degree. So degree of 0 is 5, degree of 1 is 4, degree of 2 is 3. So vertex colon, their degree is given. Here vertex colon, their degree is given. Here vertex colon, their degree is given. Okay. Similarly, you can calculate in degree. In degree means number of vertices incident on that. You can calculate out degree also. And you can also calculate what are actually the vertices. Suppose you have a inbuilt graph, some inbuilt graph, or you have taken the Cartesian products of various graphs. And then you want to know what are the vertices of that graph. Then to get the vertices, you can get this list. Or sometimes you are interested in vertices only. For certain calculations or certain reason, then you can acquire vertices in the form of a list. Okay. And many softwares, this list is a very important thing. It's always very easy and accessible. Many programs for loop or many programming part uses list. Lists are very easily accessible. Okay. You can also write edges. Now here in the edges it is given 0, 1, none means no labeling between 0 and 1. So the list of edges is given. So edges is always given by three things, 3 coordinates. So 2 end vertices and the third coordinate represents there is no the label between them. Okay. Now you can also calculate how many edges are incoming to the vertex 0. So particular vertex 0. So the edge between 0, 1, 0 edge and the edge between 0 and 4. These are the means the edges are coming from 1 and 4 to the vertex 0. Similarly, here you can see they can calculate the out degree of vertices. You can calculate out degree. So these are useful things in certain ways. I don't know where all these things are really useful, but these things are helpful for you. Maybe you will be doing some labeling of graphs or vertex labeling or edge labeling, there you may require these things. Okay. You can also calculate the neighbors of 0. Okay, given it's a topological thing. So neighbor of a certain vertex. Suppose I give you the vertex 0. What are the neighbors of 0? So let us try to see that, because we have not have we displayed what is D. D we have not displayed. So let us try to display 0 and see whether the output is correct or not. So let us try to see what is you can see that we are actually getting the neighbor. Okay. What are the neighbors of 0? So you can see that from this figure, you can see what are the neighbors of 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the graph also you can see that what are the neighbors of 0. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the neighbors of 0. Okay. So you can find neighbors of 0 also. Another thing you can do is you can also reverse the graph. Reverse the graph means if it is a directed graph, then you can reverse the edges, the direction of edges. So that is the command we use for reversing the direction of edges of the graph. Okay, so that is the command we use for reverse also. Okay, I really don't know where this reverse concept is used, but that is available in Sage. Okay, now you can also calculate a subgraph induced by certain vertices. So for that, you have to use the command d dot subgraph, and then you have to give the list of vertices from which that subgraph is induced. Okay, so that induced subgraph. So this is the command we have for induced subgraph. So what is the thing we need to pass to this subgraph function, inbuilt function? We have to pass a list of vertices which induces that subgraph. You can see that this is the graph we get. Okay, then we can also check whether it is a subgraph or not, whether certain graph is a subgraph or not. So in this case, it is true because we have constructed subgraph only. Now we can also check whether a graph is directed graph or not, or we can convert the graph, directed graph into undirected graph. So here is this command. So the D graph we are taking is the directed graph, so digraph, and then we are converting that digraph to undirected. Okay, so G2 underscore undirected. So this is the undirected graph corresponding to our digraph D. Okay, and similarly, you can also direct it. You can make directed also. You can convert back to direction. G is equal to D dot to directed. So I can make it as a directed graph also. Okay, so you can convert directed graph to undirected graph to directed. These things you can do. Next thing is related to computing center of a graph. You can calculate center of a graph. Okay, so center concept is used. I don't. Center you can calculate. Okay, if some of knows, they can tell where the center is useful. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Next thing we will. Am I going a bit fast, or is this speed okay with all of you? Hello.
It's okay, sir. It's okay,
Quite
sir.
okay. Quite okay. Yes.
It's okay, fine, okay. Because today I'm not typing it because some of my keys unfortunately is not working. But so, but if you want, I surely share my this presentation. And the point is that if I'm going fast or a little ahead and you have any doubts, we can just discuss it. If I know, I will answer it. If I don't know, I will try to sort it out later. But that point is that just don't flow with my lecture. You can always stop me and you can ask me, because I want a series, means I want questions from your side, because that will enhance my knowledge also, because there are certain things which I have never thought about or I have never tried. I can try those things so that in future it will be helpful for me as well as for you. Okay, so that's what you should always, you can ask me questions. Okay, asking question is always a good thing. So you can now, what operation you can do? You can also construct disjoint union of two graphs. Okay, so the command here is very simple, disjoint union of H. Now here, very small thing is that the vertex labeling get changed. Okay, so you can see that vertex labels are now, if you take the cycle graph, it will have 3 vertex 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 2. Whereas the cycle graph of order 4 will have 4 vertices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now their labels will change. The label will be order pairs now, because you cannot have the same labels, because cycle graph of 3 and 4 will have same set of vertices. So in the disjoint union, you cannot have the same labeling of vertices. Therefore, that's why the labelings are in the form of order pairs. Labeling is in the form of order pair. Okay. So that is being done by Sage automatically. Now you can also calculate the union of two graphs. In the union, you will have the same kind of labeling. I'm saying same kind of labeling, not same labeling, but the same kind of labeling. And you can have the union here. Okay, the vertex set will be union of the vertex set. Okay, so you can always ask what is this union means, what is disjoint union means, what do you understand? So various unions you can, disjoint union and union you can calculate here. Okay. So this was two operations you can do between two graphs. There are many other operations you can do between two graphs that we'll discuss later. But then there is another things which we can now calculate here is a click number. Okay, so what is click? First of all, we should ask the question, what is a click number? So the best part of this is that sometimes if you don't want to read a book, or you can see this manual also. From this manual also you can read. Okay, return the order of the largest click of a graph. Okay. So first of all, what is a click? Okay, so I think it is not mentioned here. What is a click of a graph? Okay. So we can get click number is 2. I think, can someone mention what is click of a graph?
That is maximal complete, which is
complete
inside that
subgraph.
Yes.
Maximal complete subgraph inside.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So click number is the cardinality of the vertex set of that subgraph, right?
Yes.
Maximum. Yeah. Okay, fine. So what is that maximum click? So inside the graph, you can calculate the maximum click. So that is this vertex set is 1, 2, 3. I think click, a click is vertex set, or it is a subgraph?
Click is subgraph which is complete.
And maximal, or just complete?
Just complete.
No, just complete.
Oh, just complete.
Just
Okay.
complete, yes.
Yeah, but then why, if I just click maximum, if I'm putting here, it is just giving me the vertex list, not the graph. It is not giving me a
Complete graph, no,
subgraph.
that's why.
No, it is not giving me a subgraph. Okay, so it is giving me only a vertex set.
So they're all
1, 2,
connected
3,
to each
1,
other.
2, 3 forms a complete graph.
1, 2, 3 forms a complete graph. Correct, fine. So no need to describe that graph. Okay, but the point is that I was thinking that it should be assigned as a subgraph, so that I can use it as a graph somewhere, as a graph object somewhere. So it is giving me just list. It is giving me just vertex list. It's not returning me the subgraph. Okay. So the point is that the word list. I'm just getting his vertex list. And then from that, again, I have to I want to use the click. And that was the thing. Okay, so you can also calculate the click polynomial. Click polynomial, the coefficients I think are the size of the vertex sets. I think what is a click polynomial. So we can also see what is click polynomial. What is the click polynomial here? The coefficients of click polynomial are something. The coefficients of t raised to n is the number of clicks in the graph with n vertices. So with 2 vertices, there are how many clicks? There are with 3 vertices, there are how many clicks? That is a coefficient of t raised to n. So coefficient of t square will give me the number of clicks of length 2. So click polynomial is there. Okay. Now you can also get a specific click containing what are the clicks which contains vertex 0. So if you are interested in finding specific clicks which contains a specific vertex, then you can use clicks containing vertex. Okay, so here there is only one click which contains 0. Okay. Then there is also command which is called as click number of. So it gives me the click numbers of this. Okay, so let us see what is click number it gives. Okay, so whenever you don't, you just put it here. Okay, it returns a single value. If it does a dictionary of numbers of maximal clicks containing each vertex keyed by vertex. Okay. So what it do is, so it gives me, so I'll tell you what it gives you. It gives you the number of maximal clicks containing each vertex. Okay. So here, what is the output is? So I will tell you what is the output is. So number of clicks which contains 0, maximum clicks which contains 0 is 3. That's what, why this is giving the output like this? I don't know. I have not, oh, maybe some, 0. So 0, there are 3 clicks. So there are 3 clicks which contain 1. There are 3 clicks which contain 2. Okay. Yeah. Now there is something called as click complex. So this is something related to very abstract mathematics. I don't know about anything about this simplicial complex. So some people are interested in these things. They also can have this simplicial complex. Clicks. So what does they calculate actually? What is simplicial complex? It is a click complex of self. Okay, this is the largest simplicial complex on the vertices of self whose one skeleton is self. Okay, all these things are not known to be. Probably Ganesh sir knows all about these things. What are simplicial complexes and all that?
Yeah, so they are generalizations of graphs actually. Yeah, right. So they are generalizations of graphs.
Okay.
Where you have faces, so you in graphs you have edges and vertices. There you will have faces and higher order, higher dimensional objects.
Okay.
And you put them together.
Okay.
So here clicks will be, for example, here clicks will be faces.
Faces. Okay.
So clicks of size 2 will be edges, and then you will have clicks of size 3, clicks of size 4 and 5 and so on. So that I think it calculates, Sage calculates these things.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Ganesh sir. Okay, so means for this, I think this comes under which theory this comes under?
This comes under topology actually, initially topology, but part of it is also part of commutative algebra. Combinatorial, combinatorics, you can say.
Combinatorics, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's nice thing. So you can calculate these things also. In fact, there are many other things other than this you can calculate. And the point which I want to tell yesterday also, that 2-3 subjects you can combine when you study 2-3 subjects together. At that point of time, you require softwares. Okay. and this is the best suited software for that purpose. Okay. Okay, so the next thing, I think we are, out of time now. So tomorrow I'll probably discuss about eigenvalues and eigenvectors and more things about these things, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and then. So anything related to today's topic, if you want to ask, we can discuss then. And any questions related to today's topic, you can ask me. We can discuss that. We can try it out. We have some time to try it out. That. So there was one question which I could not answer, was like cycles question. So let me try out that cycles. So all cycles, there was something related to all cycles. I didn't know. There is concept of cycle based.
Also, there is a command for subgraph search.
Has.
There is a command, subgraph search. Subgraph search. Search. Underscore search.
Okay.
In between, in that, you have to. I have worked on Peterson have the path on the 5 vertices.
What do you have to
So,
input actually?
in that put graphs dot path graph.
GN induced.
If induced is false, there it will not any subgraph. If induced to give a true, then it will return the induced subgraph, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is a H1 equal to subgraph search of.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay. So it will give me all subgraphs which are paths of length 5.
Yeah, right. Yes, actually, random graph when we run by, it will give all the, not all the graph. It's a random path 5 graph. Not all the subgraphs.
Does it counts?
Yes.
I have
It's
one question
okay.
now related to this.
Let me
Does
see.
it counts the subgraphs?
Yes, professor. There is if it is the path that I got it path 5.
Okay,
It works
thank you.
for one path cycle. I think not what we have the exact structure. There is a command in algorithmically hard stuff. No, in that they have given the command. I just now I read the manual and tried it in Peterson graph.
It is showing it. It is
For finding paths, you may.
That graph you are searching all subgraphs of length 5.
Yeah.
Path graph of length 5.
Yeah.
There is only one.
It gives one graph, whether it is it gives one.
It gives only one.
Yeah. For me.
Okay.
I got it.
For finding a path, you may give a command all path.
All paths you can give. No, there is simple command. But what he's saying is
command.
that instead of path graph, you can also take cycle graph.
Yeah.
That's what you can do, right?
Instead of that, can we have path or cycle specific subgraph structure? That I am looking for it.
Does it decomposes the graph with respect to given subgraph?
No. Whether it is present or not, this is what I check.
Yes. If not present, then it will say false, no?
False, yes.
But if there is solution, does it gives?
Present?
H1, yeah, it is giving the subgraph here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is giving.
But not all the possible subgraphs. It's only
not all possible. It should give all possible.
Sir, make
maybe
there 3. Yeah. Instead of 5.
No, there is for Peterson there is no cycle on 3. For that, what we have got?
Peterson graph, there is no cycle of
on 3. Yeah. Actually, it's a Git 5.
Hmm. Yeah, it's good.
Why it doesn't show any result on 3? Whether it is present or not, or true, say true or false.
At least it should say true or false.
Yeah.
That's what. Nothing is there.
I think it is taking time.
It is taking time. Wait.
No,
Because there are
it's already executed because line number is there.
Line number
Actually,
is
this professor, you have considered, actually this command
you
is
line
under the algorithmically hard stuff. What's that mean? It commands under the topic algorithmically hard stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that is there. So those are the
The
topics.
search, while searching it, no, it's pausing.
Yeah, I'll show you that also.
Also, there is an subgraph iterator. Oh, what is that command? Iterator.
Yeah, algorithm.
Number of it gives a number of subgraphs. Number. How many subgraphs are there? Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Okay, subgraph search iterator.
This is algorithmically hard stuff. Sound subgraph search. These are the contents which are algorithmically hard. That I was going to discuss. We'll discuss that also in the coming classes. So algorithmic, these are hard stuff. But
Why it is called algorithm? Where are we?
Cycle, I don't know. I have seen somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have to see it. I'll try to see it again. Okay. Anything else?
If possible, you came up with this part, especially at least at lecture, we are focusing on so many important things are in algorithm art stuff. Hamiltonian cycle, Hamiltonian path, subgraph search. It will be very useful.
Vikas sir, there is a request. You please give the PDF like you did yesterday.
Oh, I'll give you the PDF. I'll send a PDF.
Already we have several in WhatsApp.
Yeah. These things actually, so I have just organized few examples in a certain form that I can give it to you. You can try it out, okay? So maybe sometimes some things you may not find in the manual, or it is difficult to find in the manual, but sometimes some notes helps you out with the certain things. So that is also useful sometimes. Because searching in the manual and then going it sometimes take time also. But go through manual, that's always useful. If you are really into research with graph theory. I'm starting with little research in graph theory. Let's see how far I can go. But okay, so any more questions you want to ask? I'll try to answer.
Oh, sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Is this package works on any basic specification for system, for that we can make it a syllabus for PG student?
Look, I didn't. This package software you're talking about.
Yeah, this package, Sage package. Is there any basic specifications for computer? 32-bit system or 68? It works on 32-bit system.
Nowadays it is mostly available on 64 bits for Windows at least.
Okay.
64 bits, 34 bits nowadays. Most of the computers come with 64 bits only.
But we in Tamil Nadu, student is using 32-bit system because it's provided by
Then
government.
they can use old version. That's possible. They can use old version for basic calculations.
Okay,
Old versions are available in 32 bits. They can use old versions. And they can, because even I have used 32 bits Sage version for 32 bits.
Okay.
But that was long time back, sometimes in 2011-12.
But some new updated version has not worked on that older version.
But generally, most of the softwares are available with the requirement at 64 bits.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so what I want to say is that actually what I'm interested in is discussing some research kind of thing here. Let's see whether I can discuss in my 4th lecture. how these things are helpful, doing some research. People have used Sage software and developed some algorithm, and they have published that algorithm, maybe recent kind of algorithm. Recently, they have done some work. If such thing I can discuss, I'll try to discuss. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, is today lecture clear?
Yeah,
Yes,
quite
sir.
fine.
Or if,
Very well.
Very good, sir.
it's okay, then shall we stop then for today's lecture? Hello?
Yes, we can stop.
Ganesh sir, one request is there. See,
Yeah.
whatever the doubts these students have, please
Yes.
ask them to send it to you or send it to
Yes.
me. I will try to answer them. Okay.
Right,
Because
sure.
see, what is the idea is that of conducting this workshop is that any teacher cannot be so much expert that he can immediately, instantly answer, because we
Right.
don't use software all the time. Okay. But do research work and he is interested in particular thing and he is unable to do that, and if he can answer that, that will be really really great work. That I personally, because when I was doing research now, many a times I used to feel very helpless with some things. I used to work for months to solve certain things in software. So if I can help them, I'll be very happy.
Sure. So yeah, so we have a WhatsApp group of the participants. So
Okay.
if they have any query, they can simply post it there, and then I'll get back to you.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've already forwarded them the manuals which you forwarded me,
Okay.
and the books also. So hopefully,
Yes, we got them on WhatsApp.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay then. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ganesh.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. But we will discuss for 2-3 minutes about the presentations, and then all of you may leave. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So from
Yes, sir.
Monday onwards, keep in mind, Saturday we don't have a presentation. Monday onwards, every day 4 to 5:30. Monday onwards, that is 25th of October onwards, we will have presentations. And it is expected that every participant is supposed to present the work related to theme of the refresher course. That means somebody, if someone is interested in, say, power graph or zero divisor graph or anything related to adjacency of matrices and graph, its relations and all these things. So whatever things you have learned from this refresher course, you can pick up any of the topic, okay, and have a presentation of 15 minutes. Then 5 minutes for question answer. There will be an expert committee to evaluate your presentation, and they will give you the marks, and that marks are forwarded to HRDC. Accordingly, they will prepare the your grade sheet. So hopefully this thing is clear. Then we do have a quiz. So of course, quiz will be depending on the questions given by the expert after delivering their lectures. So this will be an objective type quiz, and that is scheduled on 20th of October. 20th of October at 10 a.m. sharp. Okay, so that is already there in the timetable. The only change was actually on 23rd, Saturday, 4 to 5:30 presentation was there, but that is replaced by the lecture by Professor S. Shivaramakrishnan. So that is the only change, because that is updated timetable is also there on the WhatsApp group. So hopefully for presentation things are very much clear. Then there will be a group discussion on the same day, that is 20th of October at 11:45 a.m. to 1:15. So there some topics will be given and you have to do the discussion. So active participation will be monitored and will be given grades. Okay. So these are the few things which I want to communicate to you. If you have any doubt about this, you may ask.
Also, the presentation is purely on the presentation is purely on this specific only, no, sir?
Yeah. It is expected that whatever you learn that you should speak out.
Oh.
Okay. And just now I presented the and for that purpose, because we have to do the scheduling, I request one of you, maybe someone take a lead, and by today is 20th Wednesday, maybe by 22nd, I should get a list of participants with the title of the topic and the day on which they are presenting. Okay, so for example, on Monday, A, B, C, D, these 4 participants are going to present on this thing. So I expect that you have a discussion among yourself and try to give me the list of what you can say, instead of list, I can say the schedule of your presentations with name of the participant, title of the talk, and day on which he or she is going to give a presentation. So you discuss among yourself and accordingly you proceed.
Sir, what are the expectations in presentation?
Yeah, presentation, it should clearly, that whatever you are doing, the things should be clearly understood to you, first thing. And of course, presentation style, then you are going to present it by using either Beamer or PowerPoint or whatever, or you can use some innovative technique, whatever you feel it's appropriate. And particularly, it should give the, what you can say that whatever we are doing from last, I can say that 40 hours, I may say that we have already spent around, right? By that time, by Monday, we will definitely spend 40 hours. By 40 hours, the things which are known to you, that's fine. That should be clearly visible. That is to the expert, of course. And one thing is there, I'm not the expert.
How many?
So topic may get repeated because if he.
That's why what I suggest you, don't repeat the topic. Don't repeat the topic. So you can discuss among yourself and have some clear-cut distinction. Okay, this part.
But if you could give flexibility to present some other work, then it will reduce the repetition.
But
Sir,
then,
you may. Sir, I think you may expect the presentation which relates to our theme.
Yeah, that is what we are expecting.
So we have to incorporate our research, our own research work related to this theme.
If it is there, you are most welcome. That will be in fact beneficial to others also. That will be a new area where we are knowing the things, interesting things.
Okay.
You can definitely. Of course, you try to stick up with the theme. That is what my request is.
Okay.
There are plenty of the things which are associated with graphs. But please keep in mind that the depth of the topic should be there. Don't do a simple presentation like let G be a graph and this is what the adjacency matrix, this is what the Laplacian matrix, this is what the incidence matrix. 10 minutes, I took 100 graphs, shown the adjacency matrix, and that's it. That is my presentation. So don't do such type of things. So you have to have the clear-cut results, in-depth presentation we expect, because all of you are teachers. So please
And
try
how many presentations on a given day?
Yeah, that's why what I'm saying is 15 minutes plus 5, so 20 minutes approximately for one presentation we are spending, and we have 90 minutes schedule. So 4 presentations in a day on that particular day. So we have almost 20 participants. So 5 days are enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On 5th presentation is on 29th. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And maybe by 21st or 21st evening, may I get the names and topics of the topic for discussion? Who is going to present on Monday, first of all? At least 2 days I should get by 21st. On 22nd, one more day, you can take little more time. So somebody has to come forward and take a lead and go for the presentation.
Sir, can we have, we can give the names, but is it possible to give the topic of presentation afterwards or something like that?
Yeah, but that will be easy for me because I have to forward it to the experts also. Na? Maybe topic you can give me a day later. Okay. And if you need any help, you can discuss among yourself. And if at all anything is related to my research work, definitely I could suggest few more topics, not the issue as such. Because little bit of things related to zero divisor graphs, I do know, and that also I can discuss with you. And
Sir,
probably, yeah, please.
If we have decided the topic, can I say it now so that it will not get repeated or something?
It is better you discuss among yourself,
Okay.
because that will be easy for me. And I should get a list by 21st evening by 6 o'clock.
Let's make a Google form and
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we will make a Google form.
Make a Google form. Yes, that will be best idea.
yes, sir. Okay. Hello.
Hi, yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi, yes, please.
Sir, can we speak on some software which is related to this, some different software
But I suggest.
related to this?
Okay, but if you are going for software, why not go for Sage only? That will help whatever
No.
topics they have considered.
Yes,
you
but
will-
now, we are learning Sage, but from the last few months, I am learning some different software. So that I want to speak on that.
Okay.
If
okay,
you
okay.
can provide some chance, because we are, because I am teaching to bachelor students, so I don't know much about so the
But at
subject.
the same time, you should know the theory part of what you are doing on.
Yes,
using software. Which
yes.
software you are talking about?
Okay,
Huh? Octave.
software. R software.
R language.
Yes.
Statistics.
Yes. Okay, I will speak on that.
Okay.
So I am making some material also.
Okay. So why not do some comparison with Sage also?
Yes.
That will be much more beneficial because
Yes. If
whatever
possible,
things which are not
I will do
possible-
that also.
Yeah, which are not
If possible,
possible
I
in
will do.
Sage, you can discuss in that thing and vice versa.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sure.
So I think-
Professor, on
Yeah.
Sunday it's holiday, no?
Yeah,
So,
Sunday
yeah,
is a holiday. Yeah. This Sunday is a holiday. You can enjoy.
Okay.
Yes, you can enjoy. Yes, Yogesh is very happy.
We have time for preparing your presentation. That's why.
Yeah. That is what the idea is. While preparing the timetable, we have taken that care because Sunday you are getting a holiday and you can utilize it. So in some sense, you are not getting a holiday.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, what do you expect in group discussion?
Whatever
Like
we have
what,
learned, whatever
huh?
we have learned, what I want to see what outcome is coming out.
Okay, so the topic is related to whatever we have done.
Yes.
And
yes.
there will be only one group, is it?
Yeah, that will be open discussion.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir,
anyone else?
sir, on what platform the quiz will be conducted?
That I will let you know because if I want to have on Moodle, then you must know Moodle. But I don't think that is possible because otherwise I had to register all of you on the Moodle. So that will take little time. So maybe I can go for Microsoft Form or because Microsoft Form supports LaTeX. You might be knowing this fact. Google Form do not support LaTeX. So Microsoft Form support LaTeX, and so I can ask the questions which are related to mathematics. So this will be
So we have
objective.
not, I have not used Microsoft form. So it will
No,
be better
it
if
will
you can
be-
give us some trial question or
No,
something like
it will be
that.
just like Google form. You have to click on the options. That's it. Nothing more than that. We have
Okay.
4 options. Then
Okay.
you have to select. If there are 2 correct, you have to select 2 correct. If single correct, you have to select single correct. That's it. Nothing more than that.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Hope that things are clear.
Yes.
Do we need to
Yes.
install that
Yes, sir.
Microsoft
No, no,
Word?
no, 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 no.
that is-
Nothing,
no.
nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else. Okay.
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 Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Have a nice
Thank you, sir.
lunch. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.